graduate, was accused of vandalism, saved someone from drowning, and got arrested, all in the same week. Oh, but before I get ahead of myself, hi, I'm Maya from California. Please like and subscribe. Ever since I can remember, swimming was my happy place. When I was 3, my love of all things aquatic got a little awkward from my parents, who had to keep pulling me out of mall fountains, bird paths, and koi ponds. Excuse me, adults, if you put those signs up and I'm too young to read them, do you see where I'm going with this? Well, by the age of 13, the only job I ever dreamed about was becoming a lifeguard. Being around water, saving people, and hot guys in swimsuits, what's not to love? But on dry land, that's a whole different story. You see, I was not the greatest student, and my mortal enemy was math. Then my dad got a promotion, and we moved into an apartment in the city, and I had to start my senior year at a brand new school. Seriously, Dad, I had just spent the last year sucking up to all my teachers so they would grade me on a generous curve. Where's the respect for all my hard work? Life wasn't any different there. But like divine intervention, I looked up and saw my favorite 4-letter word. Okay, seriously, you guys, I know at least half of you just thought of a word that would get you grounded if you said it out loud. I only planned to swim for a few minutes, but I was startled by a gorgeous boy. I said, "What are you doing in my pool?" Oh, I'm sorry. I thought this was the school pool. School pool. That's funny, get it? Because it rhymes. I get it. It's just not funny. And it's my pool because my family paid for it. He pointed to the plaque on the wall with his family name, and under it a sign. I'm Sebastian Monroe III, and if I catch you in here again, I'll have you arrested. Arrested? Oh, that's a bit dramatic. Did you think I was gonna pee in the pool or something? I'm Maya, by the way. I realized I was talking to myself because he had already left. He had the manners of a goat, and that's an insult to goats. I don't get it. Even if his family paid for the pool, it's still the school pool. I have to be on the swim team and prove to him that I'm better than him. I made the team, of course, and beating Sebastian's top score was just the icing on the cake. So I dominated any competition I was in. I figured Sebastian must have told one of his goon buddies to try to scare me for tearing it up on the swim team because I noticed this nerdy-looking guy lurking outside the school. I tried to approach him, but he was a tricky little thing and got away. Was Sebastian trying to have me stalked? Or disappeared? Okay, now I'm being dramatic. You guys ever feel like your mind plays tricks on you because you've watched too many crime movies? I walked back into school and saw something I did not expect. Sebastian was leaning against my locker, looking so handsome, but I kept my cool. Your team wins again. If I had known you were part mermaid, I might not have given you such a hard time. Oh, thank goodness. I was wondering how I would go on living without your approval. Now, excuse me, I need to get to my locker. I'll only move if you agree to go out with me. It figures. The only way you could get a date is with blackmail. Okay, I deserved that. But I am trying to make up for being such a jerk to you. I really like you. And I was listening when you introduced yourself, Maya. He leaned in close to me, put his head on my shoulder, and looked up at me. Look, I'm trying to be cute and vulnerable. You guys ever fall for that guy who makes you think, sure, he's a bad boy, but he'll change for me? I guess even you deserve a second chance. Awesome. Where do you want to go? I have this sudden craving for ice cream. He took me to an upscale dessert place and ordered one of everything. He was charming, and I was falling for him like an apple off an Isaac Newton's tree. Oh hey, I guess I did learn something in class. I thought things are starting to look up. But what do they say about looking up? That's when you trip and faceplant. Yep, I failed my second test. One more and I would get kicked off the swim team. I went to sweet talk the coach, but unfortunately he was allergic to my charm. Thankfully, my parents hired an amazing tutor, Lucy, who knew how to keep me awake, unlike others who snored or were more interested in snacking. And before I knew it, I was doing better on my tests and even got a B+. And by the way, this Lucy is awesome. But unfortunately, the story isn't about her. But please know she's amazing. Maybe I should tell her story one day. Don't you agree, guys? Also, to review, I was dating the hottest guy in school and crushing classes and the swim team. That nerdy guy was still popping up at school, and now that Sebastian and I were dating, I knew he wasn't behind it, so I asked him. Oh, he's probably smitten with you. Too bad you're taken. But I can't stop thinking about it. You just need a distraction. I'm serious, Sebastian. What if He interrupted my rant with a kiss. If he's what? I was so charmed by his kiss that I forgot what I was saying. He who? Well played, Sebastian III. Well played. After school that day, I came home, and there was a package at my front door. No return address, just my name on it. I was so excited. It must have been Sebastian surprising me with something wonderful. But when I opened it, the worst smell filled the room. It was a bag of poop. My parents called the police, but they said nothing could be done because there was no one to trace it back to. I made a list of people I thought it could be, like Amy, whom I told her boyfriend she had kissed someone else, and Tony, who I totally exposed his crush on our teacher. But that creepy nerdy guy was the #1 suspect. I showed it to Sebastian the next day at school. Babe, I'm telling you, it's some girl at school that's jealous of you because you're dating me. Wow. Did the school give you an extra locker for that ego? It's not an ego if it's the truth. Don't worry, I'll protect you. Besides, I have a romantic date planned for us that will take your mind off of all this. I'll pick you up at your house at 7. I decided to focus on our date and get creepy nerd guy off my brain. I jumped in my closet for some great chimichurri to go with my dress and started to wonder where Sebastian would take me. But he never showed. I called and texted, nothing. I was really worried and rushed over to his house. When I showed up, there were police cars everywhere, and my heart sank like the Titanic, thinking something had happened to Sebastian, until I saw him standing next to his car. Sebastian! Oh, thank God you're okay. Then I noticed his car. Someone had spray painted, "Sebastian is a loser, he can't swim." My parents think you did this. All that misspelling? Well, that's just insulting. I'm bad at math, not English. If you're gonna try to frame someone, do your homework. Just as I was about to defend myself, his mom rushed toward me. "Is this the monster who did this to my baby? Well, you're lucky there isn't enough evidence to arrest you, or you would spend the rest of your life in jail. Oh, Sebastian, why do you insist on living that low lifestyle? I mean, does it even know about personal hygiene?" She walked off in a huff, and I was stunned and hurt. I went to Sebastian for comfort, but instead he yelled loud enough for his parents to hear. "I don't care how cute you think it was. We're over." You know I would never do this. It must be that creepy guy. But he just walked away. What just happened? How could he not believe me? I ran away with tears in my eyes and spent the whole night eating half of the world's junk food. The next day at school, Sebastian met me with a big hug and a romantic kiss, like everything was normal. How many personalities am I dating? Sorry about the show last night, babe. It was just to get my parents off my back. You know how parents are. We'll just have to keep our love a secret for a while, and then I will fix everything. Trust me. But you were so mean to me, and you let everyone believe I would do that. Well, yeah, of course. And I did it all for you. I didn't want my mom to get you kicked off the swim team. I was relieved. He really did care about me. I wasn't thrilled about the way he did it, but you know, boys aren't that bright, and he probably did the best he could. Besides, what do you care about what my parents think? You have me, and that's all that matters. Let's just focus on the senior beach bash tonight and forget them. Well, I have been looking forward to this all year, so I'll meet you there. Once I arrived, I could hear music blasting and see a huge campfire. Sebastian was waiting at the gate for me, but I noticed there was a padlock at the entrance. Come this way. We have to go through the tear in the fence. I'm a little nervous about this. Are you sure we're not breaking the law? What's the big deal? Everyone else is already there. Besides, do you see any signs telling us to stay out? Well, against my better judgment, I agreed. We had fun, and he danced around like a reject from America's Got Talent, but he was cute. Halfway through the night, Sebastian disappeared. I asked if anyone had seen him, and someone said he went to get some pizzas. I was thinking how weird it was that he didn't tell me. Like my boyfriend had ghosted me. I just wanted to go home. Suddenly, a guy screamed that some girl had fallen into the water and was sinking. I knew I could swim faster than I could run. Acting quickly, I tore off the bottom of my dress so it wouldn't weigh me down and dove in. It was cold, but all I kept thinking was that I had to save her. I reached her in minutes and swam her to shore. Her boyfriend thanked me 1,000 times, and I could feel their love for each other as her boyfriend embraced her in turn. I was so tired that I laid down on the sand. My teeth were chattering when someone wrapped the jacket around my shoulders from behind. Are you okay? That was some pretty heroic stuff. It was the creepy nerdy guy. You! Why are you following me? Did you send me that poop? What are you even doing here? My interrogation was rudely interrupted by the police showing up and arresting everyone for trespassing. I knew sneaking through a hole in a fence was shady. When we were at the police station waiting for our parents, I saw that guy again. I ran up to confront him. I don't know what your weird fascination is with me, but I'm only gonna warn you once. Stay away. I understand you might think that, but I wasn't following you. I've been following your boyfriend, Sebastian. Sebastian? You have a crush on Sebastian? No, but I was, in a way, stalking him. Did you notice that your boyfriend managed to disappear before the police came? I really wanted to argue with him, but he was right. Where the heck was Sebastian? I was released, but my parents were so disappointed. And worst of all, Sebastian was nowhere to be found. I even went to his house when I knew his parents were out, but he wasn't there either. But I saw that creepy guy again. Where is he? And what's the drama? Start explaining. Actually, I found out he's in hiding because he was the one who called the police. Then he showed me pictures on his phone of Sebastian making a call at the beach. Oh, that doesn't prove anything, and you still haven't said why you were stalking him. I do freelance work for a tabloid magazine.
magazine, and they pay big bucks for any dirt on millionaire playboys.
Well, listen here, stalkerazzi.
Albert.
Fine, Albert. When Sebastian shows up, he will have an explanation for all of this.
And what will his explanation be for taking down the no trespassing signs at the beach, sending you a box of poop, or vandalizing his own car just to get a new car by making you feel bad? And did you know he also switched your test so you would fail?
What are you talking about? He showed me everything. I was crushed. How could I have fallen for such an evil mastermind?
I have all the photos saved to this USB to give to my editor tonight.
Then, out of nowhere, Sebastian ripped the USB out of Albert's hand and swallowed it.
And now it's my word against yours.
I thought the next time I saw him, I would run to his arms, but instead I slapped him. I pinned him against the wall, but Albert held me back before I could slap him again. You might be rich, but you could be outsmarted by a box of hair. You do know they are still on the cloud, right?
Ugh, I think I'm gonna be sick. Well, that's not how I wanted to get my USB back.
You know, you've got some pretty strong arms under that nerdy exterior. Albert showed the pictures to the police, and Sebastian went to jail. It turns out Sebastian was just a spoiled brat who wanted to get even with me for bruising his ego. Apparently his friends laughed at him when I kicked his butt on the swim team. Get a life, dude.
I'm sorry if I creeped you out with all the sneaking around.
It was kinda weird, but I'm sorry I was quick to judge you. Thank you for coming to my rescue. He may not have been as good looking as Sebastian, but as I stared into his eyes, I could see he was so thoughtful and kind, and that was way more attractive. Yep, I think I'm gonna date this guy. But I have to end the story for now. Sorry guys, be careful who you call your boyfriends. That's my advice. See ya! My 6-year-old sister opened the classroom door during my exam and started crying. Mommy said I'd find you here. You promised to buy me donkey milk for my skin, and not ostrich milk. What am I supposed to do with it? The teacher ran to calm her down, and while she was hugging her, my sister handed me a paper that had my essay written on it. Okay, I feel better now. I hope you fail your exam. Writing an essay about whether manufacturers should be responsible for the effects of the chemicals used in their products was harder than giving birth, I swear. 5 minutes later, I submitted the essay, and when the teacher left, my classmate said, "Who is that girl? You don't even have a sister, or even a mom. You're an orphan." And smart, she's someone I hired. AskBrain2 wrote me the essay. And how are you so sure that's a good essay? Oh, it's not the first time, and I always get an A+. In a matter of hours, I was the most popular girl in school, and kids started asking me for all types of advice on which apps could help give them an edge. Is there an app to get someone to fall in love with me? What about an app that could make me $1 million? That's when I got a brilliant idea. I could start making my own apps. How much are you willing to pay? Oh, by the way, my name's Paige, and I live with a family of gangsters. Before I continue my success story, please like and subscribe. Technically, we're not really a family. That 6-year-old girl I hired, her name is Spot. Yeah, weird, I know. Me, Spot, and my best friend Felix met in an orphanage. I'm the smart one. Like Einstein smart, but when I was younger, I was really small for my age, so the other kids used to pick on me. Hey, Shrimp McNugget, get out of my way! They'd push me down in the playground and take all my toys. I quickly figured out that I needed some muscle. That's when I found Felix. Felix was dumb as dirt, but strong as an ox. So we made an arrangement. I taught him everything I knew, and he took care of the bullies. A few years later, some stupid family wanted to adopt me, but they refused to take Felix. There was no way we were gonna let them separate us, so I came up with a plan. I found this really old couple online. I mean, like dinosaur old. They lived in this huge house and had a bunch of money. They would have been the perfect parents, except... What's that you say, honey? You want a mop? No, I want you to adopt us. How is the crop? Oh, it's doing well, dear. Thanks for asking. Have a good day. It was so frustrating. That night, me and Felix snuck into a science lab, and Spot was our lookout. I borrowed a few things to make a supersonic hearing aid and added a couple more features, like super hearing and super strength, that I knew those old people would like. Hey, try this. Wow, I can hear. What was that? That's a bird. What's that smell? I farted. Sorry. Look, honey, I can walk and run and jump. I can pick up this car. I told the old couple they could keep my gadget if they adopted me, Felix, and Spot, and they agreed. The next day, we moved into this huge house. We had our own rooms, and I had my own science lab in the basement. And the best thing was that the old people let us do whatever we wanted. I spent all day in my lab making gadgets and apps. I made a robot that brushed Spot's teeth and washed her hair. No! Anything but the shampoo! Please don't! Felix liked to cook, but he always burned the food. I made him an assistant chef to help him out. This is unacceptable! This chicken tastes like poo! It flipped over a couple of tables and sent Felix crying to his room a few times, but the food was delicious. My new parents invested a ton of money into my gadgets. Come to find out, they weren't just a sweet old couple. They were leaders of a notorious underground gang that... Hold on, editor. Cut that out of the video, please. I'm not supposed to talk about that. You won't tell anyone, right? If you do, you'll end up sleeping with the fishes. Okay, they get it. Don't scare them, guys. We're watching you. And listening, too. Anyway, moving along. After a while, I got bored and enrolled in a fancy high school. Felix and Spot weren't interested in school. They liked to sleep in all day, go on shopping sprees, and run other errands for our parents. My first day of school was pretty lame. I was smarter than the teachers, and the kids didn't like me much. They even made fun of my green hair. What? Green's my favorite color. Then I caught this boy named Lucas checking me out. He was popular, captain of the football team, super smart, class president 2 years in a row, and even volunteered in a food kitchen on the weekends. That is, when he wasn't doing a photo shoot. Did I tell you he was a teen model? Yuck, I could barf. Did he walk out of an MSA video or something? Lucas was so not my type, but he didn't get the hint. During lunch, he sat beside me. I mean, seriously, there were a dozen open seats.
Hey, Paige, is this seat taken?
Yeah, I was saving it for Nanya.
Who's Nanya?
None of your business. He eventually cornered me in science class. Somehow, he convinced the teacher to pair us up for a project. Lucas and I started spending time together. He was almost as smart as me. His sparkling brown eyes, his perfect hair, and handsome face were nice to look at. But there was one thing that really annoyed me. He was such a goody two-shoes. I'd never met anyone so honest. One time we went to a coffee shop and the barista gave him change. We were all the way across town when he realized that she'd given him an extra penny, so he insisted that we walk all the way back to return it. It's a penny, it's no big deal. Plus, I'm tired and my feet hurt. But he couldn't rest until he returned it. On my birthday, Lucas bought me a shirt, but it was the wrong size, so we went to the store to return it, and we ran into this woman who had on a hideous dress, and she caught us staring. Young man, what do you think? Does this dress look good on me?
You look wonderful.
The moment we left the store, Lucas started freaking out.
I shouldn't have lied to that poor woman. That was wrong. I should go back and tell her the truth.
And Lucas, being Lucas, found the woman and told her the truth.
I'm sorry, ma'am. That dress is horrible. It makes you look like a cow.
The woman punched Lucas in the face and stormed off. Later, when I put a cold bag of peas on Lucas's eye, I asked him why he was so obsessed with being honest.
I just think it's the right thing to do. Speaking of honesty, I really like you, Paige, and I was wondering, maybe you liked me too?
By then, Lucas had grown on me. He was less annoying than all the other kids at school, and he made me laugh. You're cool, I guess.
Cool enough to be your boyfriend?
Out of nowhere, Lucas held my hand. He took the peas off his face and stepped close to me. I mean, our faces were inches apart. And then, I don't know how, but suddenly we were kissing, and to my surprise, I liked it. After that, we were officially dating, and life was pretty good. But then everything turned upside down. Felix, Spot, and my parents came home from one of their vacations. Paige, it's terrible. We lost all of our money. I was in shock. Just a week earlier, we had at least $2 million in the bank. My parents explained that they spent all of our money investing in my gadgets. They stored my gadgets in a bunch of warehouses downtown. But someone burned them all down, and we lost everything. All of the warehouses caught fire? How is that possible? What about the insurance? Did you report it to the police?
There's no insurance. And the police, well,
Just 1 second. Hey, editor, we'll need a bit of privacy. It's about the family business.
no problem.
I guess they can hear the rest.
Gotcha.
So we're gonna lose the house? And the cars?
And a bunch of bad guys are after us. We kind of owe them too.
Always so much excitement. I forgot how much fun it is being a businesswoman. What am I supposed to do about it? You're the brains of this operation. Save us! And that's when I decided to make a new app called Pea Mind Soup Juice. Yeah, that's not the real name and the app doesn't exist anymore. But it was awesome. I cleverly designed a game where kids had to keep paying money to play the higher levels. And when they reached level 7, they got a ticket for the $1 million National Lottery. Of course, no one ever wins that thing, right? But the kids were hooked. They were using up all their pocket money and even stealing their parents' credit cards to keep paying and playing. And I was getting richer by the day.
Wow, Paige.
This is awesome. This is almost enough to pay off our debts. You're my hero.
You're the best.
But things got a little complicated with Lucas. One day after school, he showed up at my house.
You have to shut down Pea Mind Soup Juice.
Why?
It's unethical.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
Don't be such a goody two-shoes.
Paige, everyone's getting addicted and it's driving all the kids crazy. I need my Pea Mind Soup Juice. You can't take it away from me.
It's just an app. It's not my fault they're too dumb to turn it off.
You have the highest IQ and you could use it for good, but you're using it to ruin people's lives. Plus, if the principal finds out you're making money off of these kids, you'll get expelled.
Everyone loves Pea Mind Soup Juice. No one's gonna tell. The principal doesn't ever have to know.
I know.
What's that supposed to mean?
I love you, Paige, but what you're doing is just wrong. If you don't shut it down tonight, I'll have to tell the principal.
I tried to convince Lucas to change his mind, but he just stormed off. And to make matters worse, I caught Felix and Spot listening from the upstairs window. And that's when the war between Lucas and my family began.
We can take care of him for you. I can punch him in the nose.
I can hit him with a rock. He'll never remember a thing. Or I can bake him a special pie. No, you're not doing any of that. Lucas is my boyfriend, and I think I love him. Love? Yuck!
He's not even your type.
Oh, honey, that boy doesn't love you. He wants to rat you out. You'll get suspended, and he won't stop there. He'll try to bring this whole family down. Believe me, we know. I told my family I'd take care of it. The last thing I wanted was Lucas hurt. I went over to Lucas's house, and his parents' car wasn't in the driveway, so he was all alone. I tapped on the window to wake him up and accidentally broke the glass. Help! Help! Intruder! He was so scared. It could have been because I had a mask covering my face, but it was really cold outside. And what else are you supposed to wear when you're climbing into someone's window at night? I mean, duh, it's practically a uniform. Lucas grabbed a fly swatter and started waving it around. Lucas, it's me! What the heck are you doing climbing through my window at midnight? I needed to talk. Please don't tell the principal about pea mine soup juice.
I've made my decision, Paige.
My family needs it to pay our bills.
Can't your parents borrow the money from their friends? What about their savings?
That's easy for you to say. Your family's rich with dozens of rich friends. Then the craziest thing happened. I spotted Felix's robot chef in Lucas's driveway, and it started pounding on the door.
What is that?
I got a FaceTime call from my family. What's going on?
We all discussed it, and we decided that RoboChef, that's what we're calling him now, can take care of our little Lucas problem.
What do you mean, take care of? Then RoboChef broke down the front door. Ooh, that's loud. What's that noise, honey? It's RoboChef. Oh my, get out of there. My phone lost its signal, and then RoboChef smashed through a couple of walls, then charged up the stairs. We have to go, now. I grabbed Lucas. We climbed out of the window and hopped on my bike. I rode as fast as I could. RoboChef was on our tail.
What is that thing?
It's a robot I made.
Can you turn it off?
RoboChef, shut down.
RoboChef, slice and dice!
It's gone crazy.
What do we do?
I had to think fast, and then I remembered. I had an emergency remote in my bedroom drawer that could shut RoboChef down. Hold on. Lucas held tight as I turned a corner. My heart pounded and my legs throbbed as I rode faster and faster. Then, the worst thing happened. My front tire hit a rock, and Lucas and I flipped over. I sprained my ankle, and Lucas scraped his knee really bad. Lucas held me in his arms as the crazy robot drew closer. This is it. He's gonna turn us into Lucas and Paige puree.
A Luke Cage or a Pecos?
What are you talking about?
It's our names combined, like a couple's name. We never got to choose one, you know, like Benifer, Kimye, and Brangelina.
Shut up!
I've got a better idea.
Lucas pulled me close and kissed me. Then he climbed to his feet and glared at the robot.
Come on, you stupid robot. Let me introduce you to my little friends.
Lucas showed the robot his fists, and the robot couldn't stop laughing as it marched towards us. I knew we were gonna be goners, but out of nowhere, my family appeared.
Get away from my sister, you crazy bot!
Spot threw a rock at the robot's head. Felix body slammed it and then gave it the people's elbow. My mom smashed a pie in its face, and my dad picked it up and threw it so far that it landed in a trash heap a couple of miles away. My dad still had his super strength, by the way. My family was impressed that Lucas had risked his life to save me. And Lucas was so thankful that my family saved both of us that he decided not to tell the principal about pea mine soup juice.
I won't tell, but you still have to shut it down.
But what about my family? They still need money.
I have an idea.
My family met with Lucas's dad, and after he saw the footage of them kicking that robot's butt, he hired my family to run security for his company. After a couple of years, my family made so much money that they started their own security business and started traveling the world protecting celebrities and famous politicians. As for me and Lucas, I agreed to shut down pea mine soup juice and live an honest life.